The legal cannabis industry has unlocked generational wealth opportunities across the country. But the industry's regulatory complexities, constant state of change, and speed of evolution drive confusion for entrepreneurs and investors alike. On this podcast, we'll interview the industry leaders who are shaping the future of the legal cannabis industry to help our listeners understand these idiosyncrasies. This is Cannabis Unlocked, hosted by Key Investment Partners.
All right, everybody. Well, welcome back to another episode of Cannabis Unlocked with Key Investment Partners. I'm thrilled to have Jason Brett here from Katalys, formerly Rev Ventures Group. One of actually the first investments we made out of Key Fund 1. I think it was deal number 4. We've been following these guys for a little over 2 years now through our thorough due diligence process. It probably closer to 3 years now that I've known them. And we followed these guys into several rounds of investments now. I'm excited to say that this is one of the first companies that I've had board representation on. It's been an amazing learning experience. They've done a fantastic job on growing their company. But enough for me. I'm sure you want to hear it from the man himself. So Jason, please introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about you, who you are, your background, and maybe at a high level what it is that you guys are doing at Katalys today.
Amazing. Well, Tibby, thank you for having me on. It's been a great ride. It's been great to have you on our board and to have all the support from you and the rest of the team at Key. It's been a learning experience for us too. So we appreciate the support.
Absolutely.
So a little about me. My background has really been in digital publishing and marketing technology. So prior to that, though, I got my start in phone sales. So I was selling satellite TV, but the problem is that phone sales is like 1-to-1, right? And so the best leverage you could get was like moving into management, where maybe you get a 20-to-1 leverage. But that's really where I discovered marketing technology and found kind of that next step function that I was looking for. And I think what I fell in love with in marketing was how you can automate the sales process. And, I really love seeing sales happen kind of automatically or when you sleep. To me, that's like the ultimate leverage. And so for me, after years of helping other people build their businesses and implement marketing technology, I decided to, sort of close my consulting practice and start my own publishing business. And so that's actually what got me first into the cannabis and CBD industry about 8 years ago. And so I would say for me and really our executive team at Katalys, we kind of have a knack for trend spotting and seeing things coming early. And so that's why I started one of the first and a couple of years ago, one of the largest CBD consumer education and review websites called CBD Oil Review. And we, of course, we're meeting the need early in the market where there was a lot of snake oil. There's a lot of just junk in the market. And so we were able to educate consumers, give them a way to find and buy trustworthy brands. And, starting that business kind of laid the foundation, I would say, for everything we're doing now. As a publisher, we dealt with all the issues of, how do you monetize? Do you become an e-commerce business? Do you work through affiliate? How do you take this value you've built as a publisher and monetize it and scale and grow your business? And so fast forward now, for 4 years later is we actually solved that monetization issue by starting Rev Offers, which is started out as a CBD affiliate network where we are helping publishers like CBD Oil Review and some of the major CBD brands to acquire customers and monetize respectively. And so, now fast forward those 4 years, and we've done about 53 million in GMV for our clients. And we really got our start in cannabis. Now we've expanded really well beyond the cannabis industry, and have moved us into full circle into the present day, where we actually just completed a merger, and it's actually our third kind of M&A transaction thus far. And that's really moving us more so into a product company. And Katalys Ventures is sort of the new brand that we're coming to market with. And ultimately, we're bringing together our existing attribution technology that we've built, which is a proprietary identity graph attribution technology for affiliate marketing, and combining that with an embedded shopping technology to really disrupt the affiliate industry, which I'll share more in a minute why that's important. But it's an industry that's ripe for disruption, I would say, because it hasn't really evolved in the last 20 years. But yeah, I'll kind of leave it there.
Sure. So appreciate the intro there, and I'm sure for anybody listening in, they can certainly hear that there's quite a bit going on at Katalys. Now I have to stop myself from saying Rev Ventures. I'm still used to saying that. But even taking a step back, and I think that this is something that even when I met you guys, I struggled with, and it is, what exactly is affiliate marketing? It's funny because it's something that every single person out there that's got basically a network connection, either on their phone or their computer, their tablet, if you're shopping online, you're probably seeing affiliate advertising every day and actually utilizing it. Could you maybe just give us a quick real life example of what that relationship is, say, between the brands, the publishers, and where you guys sit today?
Yeah, definitely. And just to your point, right, it's out there, it's right under everyone's nose. You're probably being involved in it and generating commerce through the affiliate channel. You're not even aware of it. You're just out there kind of looking for
shopping around,
making purchases. And there's a whole under the surface monetization that's happening, and it really touches everyone. So I'll give you an example, right? So Tibby, if you were shopping today, right, you're looking for a product to buy, right? Like say you want a pellet smoker or something, because I know you're into that. Maybe you do a Google search, right, and you land on a brand review or a listicle, right? And so you're saying like best smokers, and you're going to read content. There's going to be links to products inside of that content, and any of those links that you click on are going to be what's known as an affiliate link. So it's going to send you through to a brand site or to a marketplace where you can buy the product. You're being tracked as a user. And if you make a purchase on that brand or marketplace, then the publisher that sent you or referred you is going to get a commission, right? So it's classic commission sales, has been around forever. This is just the digital version of
absolutely. Sales. And that's you've brought up some buzzwords for your industry. You mentioned attribution earlier, and that's actually one of the things that got us so excited about Rev Offers at the time, was your proprietary attribution tool. So as Jason just mentioned, right, I go into the top 10 pellet smokers of 2022. That's a publisher's website. When I click through that publisher's website and it takes me to the brand's marketplace, there needs to be a smart technology that's actually attributing that sale to me going through the publisher. And what Jason's company has done is they've built a really strong attribution engine, which has created more trust between the affiliate marketers, the advertisers, the publishers, and the brands, so that sales are properly attributed, et cetera. Jason, do you want to maybe talk a little bit about the attribution engine and how you guys are different, maybe from a data collection perspective or a cookieless type policy, et cetera?
Yeah, of course. I mean, a lot of us have heard, if you're in the tech sort of web world, you've heard of the cookie apocalypse, or the fact that if you've heard of the iOS 14 update, which has caused a lot of challenge to properly attribute sales. for people advertising on Facebook. This is kind of a sign of the times, right? Like all the major browsers have been signaling that cookies are going away. They're slowly being depreciated. As that happens, this generally
quickly, do you want to explain maybe what a cookie is, how it's used for tracking, and why that's important?
Yeah, of course. Beyond milking cookies, so digital cookies are they're effectively a fingerprint for your browser that lives on the browser, and it allows third parties and first parties to essentially identify a visitor, right? So this, if you were on a website and you created an account, say the next time you come back, the reason they can ask you, hey, do you want to log in? And you're not logged in is because they have a cookie in your browser, right? So they know, hey, this is a person who came here and logged in before. That's a very basic example of how a cookie would get used to kind of identify a user. These are used in tracking and attribution technologies, and they've pretty much been dependent on the cookie. And so a lot of third parties, whether they're like advertising technologies or other things, have been using third-party cookies and basically using it to harvest data and track you across multiple websites. And that's really what the browsers are trying to crack down on, keeping these sort of nameless third parties from gathering a bunch of data on you and abusing you, us all as consumers. And so how we're different is that we're actually a first-party data collector. So we sit within the e-commerce cart of our advertisers, and we're actually placing cookies and about 9 other ways that we track, and that's really what makes us different, on behalf of the advertiser. And so we're effectively immune to these practices that are being put in place to protect consumers, because we're basically doing it in conjunction with the brand. Yep. And so what we've built in terms of our attribution and tracking technology is a deterministic identity graph. So we're pulling in multiple data points, whether it's a cookie or IP, device fingerprint. There's a bunch of different things that we look at to triangulate within about a 97% degree of certainty that, you were over here on a publisher site, you clicked a link, and, within a certain window of time, you landed on the brand site and you made a purchase. We're able to tie those two things together, which sounds easy, but is actually a very difficult thing to do.
Sure.
And if you're the publisher, right, and we're talking about a dual-sided marketplace. So we're in the middle. On one side, you have a brand. They want to pay for customers. On the other side, you have a publisher. They want to monetize their traffic. If the publisher sends traffic and we're not able to track it, they're effectively losing value and money. Right. And so, it's often in the brand's best interest to have that happen, because they're getting the sales regardless. Whether or not they have to pay for it is kind of comes down to how accurate the attribution is. And so us as a third party, we're really helping to facilitate these commission-based online sales through our marketplace as an affiliate network. So we have a bunch of offers on this network. Publishers can come and promote them. And then when sales happen, we track and attribute, and then the brands pay us and we help to get the publishers paid. And so, we mentioned this is an industry that's right under everyone's nose. And actually, to put it in perspective, this will be a $15 billion industry by 2025.
That's awesome. Really, really helpful to kind of get the full picture there. So I think that really kind of explains very holistically kind of rev offers and why you're different. Really one of the things that got us so excited about you guys as we got, smart on your particular industry was the fact that you're not really reliant on cookies with the inevitable downfall of cookies, as you mentioned, the cookie apocalypse, which is really happening already. So with that being said, maybe let's pivot a little bit and talk about the pivot from Rev Ventures Group, focused on the affiliate marketplace, et cetera, to now Katalys. You've merged with 1.0. 1.0 is the embedded shopping cart technology, which enables users to basically, just through a couple or a few clicks, purchase directly off of a banner or an ad or directly on the publisher's website. Talk to us a little bit about really what the new ecosystem will look like, why that's a benefit to a consumer, and ultimately where you think e-commerce is headed, and why this technology is truly disruptive.
Yeah, great. Well, I'll kind of speak to what I think the broader problem is, right? So what I just described about you making a purchase for, say, a pelletized smoker, that process of inspiration, click, and purchase for affiliate marketing really hasn't evolved for 20 years. It's effectively the same thing it's been, right? And so the technologies have evolved, right? Like we've iterated on those technologies, but the buying experience for the consumer is the same convoluted process, right? You might land on a brand site, maybe you don't land on the product you're looking to buy. Maybe you get there's a bunch of pop-ups. Maybe the site is very slow, so you just end up leaving. You have to go off-site to find a coupon to buy the product. There's a myriad of reasons why you may not complete that purchase. It's very inconvenient. So our whole focus of combining 1.0 with Rev Offers into now Katalys is to pioneer this like embedded affiliate commerce solution where we bring the brand's checkout to the point of discovery on the publisher's content. So now if you were looking for, say it's a pelletized grill smoker, you find the one you want within the content on the publisher's site, rather than clicking through. In as little as 3 clicks, you can complete the purchase right there, right at the point of discovery, which is a massive decrease in the amount of time it takes to actually make a purchase, right? And to get that thing that you've identified you want. And so what we've seen in some of our early testing is that about a 94% decrease in the time to transact for a consumer. So what would normally take about 300 seconds if you click through to the site, we've seen consumers do in about 20 seconds on this embedded commerce technology.
That's great.
So,
curious, when we think about, part of the affiliate space is, these coupon websites and whatnot. And I know that you guys have been working on that, and you've got some great partnerships. I've got the Citigroup widget or plugin over on my browser. So just out of curiosity, if I were, say, buying something through 1.0, does it allow me to plug in, a coupon or something in there as well to take advantage of?
We actually auto apply the best coupon to the checkout. So
through widgets, or how do you guys do that?
Yeah, it's because we have a direct integration with the brand, and generally the publisher who's promoting them will already have a coupon. So we're going to be using the coupon that the publisher has, or one that's provided by the brand. And it's already in the cart experience. So the consumer just has to check out. They don't necessarily need to go scouring the internet for an additional discount, because it's automatically applied. And so that's like one of our focuses, is like, how can you make it even more convenient for the consumer, less convoluted? And as we know, the end consumer, their dollars in e-commerce is what drives the whole ecosystem, right?
Right.
And so if we can be consumer focused to increase the convenience, reduce friction, then that's ultimately going to lead to a better monetization for the publisher, which is going to lead to more customer acquisition for the brand, which they want to grow. And so this is what we actually call our omni-win scenario, right? Aligning all the incentives across this marketplace to find a win for all the parties. And that's really how we've built, I would say, one of the, more powerful reputations in this affiliate space, in the cannabis space, is just doing right by all parties and trying to find that omni-win.
Absolutely. And funny enough, putting a proof to what Jason's saying here, I mean, I know myself as a consumer, especially when I'm online shopping, I will spend a good amount of time looking for the best deal or bargain that I can on any product. And having that simplicity that Jason's describing on being able to check out directly, with the advertiser or the publisher, and also knowing that they're finding the best deal, certainly makes the shopping experience much more seamless. And I think, frankly, just much more likely to transact. So really, really interesting there. I'm fully bought in, Jason. For purpose of the call and just to get people to understand you guys a little better, could you maybe name one or two of the major publishers that you guys are working with today, and maybe one or two of the big brands that you're working with?
Sure. Yeah. So we do, as I mentioned earlier, we got our start in CBD and cannabis. So we have quite a bit of the large scale publicly traded companies on our platform. Some of the biggest from Charlotte's Web, CW, CBDFX, CB Distillery, kind of all the major players there. We actually work with one of the other key portfolio companies in now the THC space, helping them acquire leads, which is Grassdoor, which has actually been going really, really well of late. But we're not limited to CBD and cannabis, right? That's where we got our start. We really built our technology, kind of proved the concept, if you will. And then it's ultimately a ubiquitous technology that can work within any industry. So we've actually expanded beyond that. So we do a bunch of stuff in the pet space. We work with, major brands like Chewy, but also you mentioned earlier, a coupon browser extension. So we also work with Capital One Shopping, help them acquire, new browser downloads.
I think I said City, I meant Capital One.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. So that's really like the brand side. On the publishing side, we work with, we've really made a name for ourselves by finding high quality content based publishers. There's of course many different types of publishers, people that buy ads, people that do email marketing. There's a bunch of like coupon and deal type publishers, and that's historically how people think of the affiliate industry. But we found that some of the best consumer and consumer lifetime value comes from content-based publishers. It's also sort of like a wellspring, if you will, because it's a very consistent flow of traffic because it's coming from Google organic search. And so we work with, some of the major media companies from, Red Ventures and Healthline, Hearst, Forbes, Originated Media, so on and so forth. All of these major publishers we work with to help them, some produce content, others to monetize, and in the very near future to do embedded commerce.
Awesome. Yeah. And, Jason mentioned a lot of this when we were diligencing the deal and getting to know these guys. And one of the things that I think really surprised us and got us more excited is that their focus on, high quality brands, high quality publishers, et cetera, has led the company to have much better unit economics, conversion metrics than you typically see with all the other affiliate marketplaces. I think something that really stood out to us with you guys versus some of the other comps and competitors out there is, it's kind of a hands-off approach, but you guys actually take it very seriously with regards to cultivating really strong relationships and making sure that you're putting content out there and working with publishers that are actually driving meaningful traffic, which is leading to better sales conversions. So it's nice to hear it, but I can certainly say that the numbers certainly back up the proof of concept here of what Jason is talking about. And funny enough, we saw a lot of ourselves in the Rev guys when we started to get to know them, because while the cannabis industry has been a low-hanging fruit greenfield opportunity, the technology that these guys are actually creating, I think you used the word ubiquitous, right? It's something that you can translate across into many different industries. The cannabis industry is obviously one that has many complexities tied to it. Marketing is notoriously very difficult for cannabis companies. There's virtually no way to even advertise THC brands. And the affiliate space is actually one space where you can get around those, tough marketing restrictions. So taking a unique approach, unique technology, and applying it to the cannabis industry made a lot of sense. But if I had to guess, when it comes to, having an exit down the road, Jason, I think that cannabis will just be a big component, but not, the key component or the major part of the different ways you guys are generating revenue and the different types of companies you're servicing, et cetera. So really exciting stuff that these guys have built here. Just a couple more minutes here. I'm going to skip down to one of my favorite questions, which I think gets a lot of good reception here. So any lessons learned or feedback that you could give to other entrepreneurs? You're running a venture-backed company. You know what it's like to juggle the balls between growth and capital preservation, making sure you have runway. What are some lessons learned or advice you'd give to folks, trying to start a venture similar to yours or any high growth industry?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, first and foremost, I would say, and this has been kind of the the consistent lesson as like a visionary that I've had to learn over and over, which is, you have to be unrealistic and aggressive, but also be patient. And it's one of the hardest things to do, to have a big vision, to see something clearly, to see multiple years down the road, but also be okay with, the amount of time and commitment it takes to really see it through, right? The patience, the discipline to show up every day towards that vision. And also know that it's going to change as you go, right? And so that's probably the hardest thing to deal with, is to, be patient, be diligent, be focused on something, but also be willing to pivot, right? And that's really what this evolution of merging with 1.0, bringing the embedded commerce in, is like, we've been so focused on building attribution technology and refining that technology for ourselves, but to really make that next leap, we had to kind of pivot and ask ourselves a different question, right? Like, where is the affiliate marketing industry heading? And so, to use, like a Wayne Gretzky quote, right? We're trying to skate to where the puck is going. And we really, feel that embedded commerce is that future, right? And so, would I say embedded commerce was clearly on my roadmap 5 years ago? No, definitely not. But as we've kind of come and built these partnerships with major publishers and brands, you become aware of things. And so staying open to and being willing to pivot and evolve the business is a major component of being an entrepreneur.
Absolutely. And I couldn't have said it better myself, Jason. I think that one of the characteristics or attributes that we look for in management teams is really that gung-ho attitude, do anything to make the business work and hustle. And you guys certainly have that. But, on par with that is the ability to pivot a business model when you see a more lucrative opportunity and not be stuck in, your old ways. And we've seen you guys do that time and time again. So really excited for you guys, man. Really appreciate having you on the show here. I think for anybody who's not familiar with the affiliate space, this is probably a really quick way to get some good cliff notes and understanding. Rooting for you guys big. I know that we are in the process right now of maybe considering going out with your next price round, to be determined. Anybody interested in learning more about the opportunity with Katalys, feel free to reach out to myself. I think anyone listening here knows how to get in touch with us at Key. Otherwise, if you're interested in getting to know Jason and Katalys better, revoffers.com is probably going to be the best way to do so. Otherwise, feel free to reach out to me, and I'm always happy to make connections here. But Jason, thank you again so much for your time today. Enjoy having you on the show, and if history paints a picture, I'll likely be chatting with you several times every week over the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years until we find our way to a great big successful exit here. So anyways, thanks so much.
Looking forward to that. Thanks, Tibby. Appreciate the time.
All righty. Thank you.